As a young citizen of India, armed with technology, knowledge, and love for my nation, with a vision of transforming India into a developed nation, I am joining Shobhit University. What about you?
Very good morning to all the participants. Shobhit Institute of Engineering and Technology, Meerut, deemed to be university, and its Centers of Excellence, Center for Agricultural Informatics and E-Governance Research Studies, and Center for Agribusiness and Disaster Management Studies extends greeting to all the participants from India and abroad who are attending today's national webinar series on doubling farmers' income by 2022, Atmanirbhar Bharat in agriculture. This webinar series is being hosted on every Thursday at 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Today is 23rd December 2021, our National Farmers' Day in India. We wish to our Indian farmers and agriculturists. The webinar is on the topic, more appropriate title, Cultivating Dignity for Farmers. On behalf of the Honorable Chancellor, Honorable Vice Chancellor, the faculty members of the university, and on my behalf, and as Professor Emeritus and Chairman of Center of Excellences, Center for Agricultural Informatics and E-Governance Research Studies, Center for Agribusiness and Disaster Management Studies, Center for Informatics Development Solutions and Applications, and Center for Industry 4.0 Technology Studies and Application, and Center for Health Informatics and Computing. Let me welcome the today's guest speaker to deliver the talk in the 57th edition of the National Webinar Series, Dr. Chandrashekhar Hari Bhadsavle. Good morning, sir. He is Krishi Ratna, Krishi Bhushan, founder and managing trustee, Saguna Rural Foundation, and a food scientist turned farmer, inventor of Saguna rice technique. For the benefits of the participants and the guest speaker, so far under this webinar series, the university has organized 56 webinars on the topics, role of agricultural cooperative societies and e-governance, blockchain technology-based fishery value chain, a self-contained village, a felt need of the day, Spices Informatics Network value chain, Lantana camera, a camouflaged treasure trove, smart hill agriculture, a digitalized hill agriculture value system, Mera mobile, Mera marketing, integrated mariculture, aquaponics, precision agriculture, in short, MAPA biofarms for income revolution, and smart tribal agriculture, optimizing value chain, smart agri-tech and industry perspective, land resources information system in India, present and road ahead, weather decision technologies for increasing farm income, big data in smart farming, sustainable soil and land management for climate smart agriculture, understanding market dynamics for increasing farm income, role of technologies in mitigating crop risk, how to generate additional profit via simple, attractive approaches in farm produce, adoption of flexi rubber check time technology, potential benefit for farmers in rainfed and coastal agro ecosystems, realizing the economic benefits of agroforestry, Octosol, organic humic solutions for increasing crop yields and quality while increasing farm income and improving soil health, closing the nutrient loop, phosphorus management in protein farming, improving nutrient use efficiency and farm productivity, artificial intelligence enabled pest management technology for agricultural crop protection without pesticides, empowering farmers through extension and knowledge dissemination, role of mass media, smart poultry monitoring solutions, agrobiodiversity, intellectual property laws, agriculture and farmers' welfare, and insight into the issues for India's agrarian economy, manufacture and application of biochar for increased soil fertility and crop productivity, sustainable integration of livestock with agriculture for farm income increase, role of geographical indications for improving farmers' income, lessons from Asia Pacific region, dairy informatics network value chain, a dairy tech startups perspective for farmers' income increase, spices informatics network value chain, a turmeric startup perspective for farmers' income increase, generating sustainable on-farm income through fintech interventions, nutrition sensitive agriculture pathway for increasing farmer income, artificial intelligence and data analytics to ensure optimal nutrition in the soil, harvested food that minimizes human disease, bioenergy supply chain, a business opportunity for rural enterprises and farmer produce organization, tech enabling India's tech starved farmers for manifold increase in productivity and income, open insurance ecosystem for agriculture producers, risk management solutions to overcome repercussions on farmers' income, market stability, and food safety. Role of mass media for farmers' income increase, a case study from Green TV. Agstack, Agriculture Stack, open source digital infrastructure for the agricultural ecosystem, a Linux Foundation project. Circular bioeconomy towards resilience, urgent need for redefining raw materials and modified waste management policies and regulations. Agri-tech, new horizons in Indian agriculture. Supporting of farmers for marketing will only help doubling of income by 2022. Rural transformation of farmers' income increase, case studies from impoverished districts. Mobile enabled software as a service to solve complex supply chain challenges, a case study from daily orders. John Deere's journey in India, integrated precision agriculture solutions, doubling the income of farmers through eco-agri revolution. Bayer's carbon farming initiative, post-production interventions maximizing value for farmers. BAIF models of revival of traditional water management systems to enable doubling of farmers' income. Should we adopt farmers' welfare as a new paradigm shift instead of farmers' income? ICT intervention in agriculture challenges and opportunities. Democratizing the future of farming, a global experience. Commercial processing of orders, next game changer in dairy. Data-driven agriculture and agri-tech startup perspective. Agribusiness potentials in Moringa. Agricultural income pathway, strengthening links between agricultural activities and nutrition outcome. Technology, education, research, and rehabilitation for the environment. Today is the 57th edition of the National Webinar Series, which will be addressed by Dr. Chandrashekhar Hari Bhadsavle, founder and managing trustee, Saguna Rural Foundation. And on the topic, cultivating dignity for farmers through Saguna rice technique, a conservation agriculture, zero till, farmers friendly, climate smart path for rice farming. Dear participants, you see the keywords cultivation, dignity, and farmers. It's very important to attract rural youth to get into agriculture as a preferred option for entrepreneurship. Agriculture sector is the foundation of the Indian economy. Acharya Vinoba Bhave said, India is largely an agrarian agricultural country, Krishi Pradhan Desh, and a country of villages, more than 6.25 lakhs villages, Gram Pradhan Desh. It employs more than 50% of the India's workforce and contributes almost 17 to 18% of its GDP. Agriculture is the main source of food, employment, and income for 70 to 80% of the people suffering from hunger in developing countries. At present, agricultural livelihoods are being severely impacted world over as a result of anthropogenic global warming and climate change. Climate change has got both the direct and indirect effects on agriculture productivity, including changing rainfall patterns, severe drought, flooding, and changes in the geographical redistribution of pests and diseases. India's labor-intensive and subsistence-based agriculture sector is particularly vulnerable to this development. Climate aligned business is the way forward for India Inc. Businesses are becoming increasingly vulnerable to climate risk. According to the findings from sorry, Council on Energy, Environment and Water Management's recent findings on recent climate vulnerability index, 463 of India's districts, according to 2011 census of India, which are home to 968 million people, are extremely vulnerable to climate events. Dr. Saab, can you put your video on? According to the findings from Council on Energy, Environment, Water recent climate vulnerability index, 463 of India's districts, which are home to 968 million people, are extremely vulnerable to climate events. As investment, trade, technology, and idea flows towards low carbon development, the transition in each sector would be inevitable, but at a different time scales. Business that sees the opportunity will enjoy a first mover advantage. Farmers of India are facing multidimensional problems: price, fluctuation, debt, and lack of infrastructure and weather. India's farming community consists of about 14.5 crores operational holders, of which 85% of the farming operational holdings are of small and marginal size category. Farmer needs timely, location specific, and personalized information for effective control on their production, risk, and then market their produce to identified market opportunities. Many national level programs such as Digital India, Make in India, Skill India, Startup India, Stand Up India have faced operational difficulties in its impact at farm level and farmers level, that too at small and marginal farmers. Future smart farmers, the urgency of democratizing foresight. Future is an area of increasing uncertainty. Though the future cannot be predicted, but it can be explored. Exploring the future helps making better decisions in the present time. It opens new paths, unveils new options, and enlarge our understanding of potential unexpected effects of our decision. At a time when climate smart agriculture is taking momentum in the international community, the urgency of more future smart farmer organizations and local communities becomes imperious. The voice and the views of future smart farmer organization and local communities are needed to influence the national and international agendas. I would like to quote the Honorable Prime Minister's Independence Day address on 15th August 2021. He said, I quote, "In the coming years, we will have to increase the collective power of the small farmers of the country. We have to give them new facilities. They must become the country's pride. Chota Kisan, Bane Desh ki Shan. Small farmers become the pride of the nation." The Government of India, through its National Informatics Center, have prepared IT blueprint for agriculture sector through a national conference on informatics for sustainable agriculture development ISDA in May 1995. I was instrumental, in organizing this national conference on informatics for sustainable agriculture development way back in 1995 and prepared a blueprint for IT in agriculture even before the internet came into India. And also a scheme called the Smart Village Scheme in 2002-2007. Volume 3, Volume 4, Volume 11, and Volume 12B of the Doubling Farmers' Income by 2022 Report 2018 of Government of India have suggested reforms measures for income rise through digitalization of farm sector. Volume 12B, Digital Technology in Agriculture, I was associated as the group leader to formulate policies, recommendations for acceptance by the National Committee. And Volume 12B contains about 7 mission mode programs for digitalization of Indian agriculture. Agriculture logistic is the backbone of agribusiness, and agriculture marketing is the brain behind value realization. The 7 mission board programs of the digital technology in agriculture were recommended by the Doubling Farmers Income Committee are digitalized agriculture, digital technology and innovation in agriculture, Digital India, Make in India, Skill India, and Startups India programs for transformational reforms in agriculture sector through broad 3 categories: smart irrigated farming, smart rainfed farming, and smart tribal farming, and digitalized agromet advisories and agricultural risk management solutions, digitalized agricultural resources information system and micro level planning for achieving smart village and smart farming, digitalized value chain for about 400 agriculture commodities, digitalized access to inputs, technology, knowledge, skill, agricultural finance, credit, marketing, and agribusiness management to farmers, and digitalized integrated land and water management system per drop more crop, and digitalized farm health management for reduction of farmers' loss. This is very important because this is to have an integrated view of farmers' health, plant health, animal health, soil health, water health, and fish health, and environment health. And it is a data economy and digitalized platform economy, and this integrated farm health management is resulting in health informatics network value chain, which is $1 trillion economy. India should achieve it. I have been working for the last 10 years in this direction, and there is no view. Today we have artificial intelligence and big data analytics, but no institution is interested to get into an integrated approach of health informatics, human health, plant health, animal health, soil health, water health, and fish health, and environmental health. And the 3 Farm Acts 2020, which were expected to be the game changer, have been repealed by the parliament, by the government, because of the agitations by the few section of the Indian farmers. NABARD Financial Inclusion Survey report, which talks about its more comprehensive report on India's agriculture. Mr. Sanjay Vidyarthi, who participated in this program as a speaker, he listed out some of the very important views from this report. Pathetic tech adoption by Indian farmers. 5% farmers have tractors. 1.2% have used drip irrigation. 0.8% use sprinklers, etc., etc. Only 8% farmers have received any kind of farming skill development training. 92% have not done any training whatsoever. And 70% of the farmer borrow money from non-institutional lenders. Sanjay Vidyarthi adds, and he quotes from FAO report on India's productivity versus the best in the world. We are 2x to 10x worse on yield per hectare than global best in class in every commodity we grow. Those are the facts of Indian agriculture. Everything else is the noise. If you fix the above, we all fix Indian agriculture. And Atmanirbhar Bharat is the road ahead. It is the vision of the Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, of making India a self-reliant nation, rested on 5 I's: intent, inclusion, investment, infrastructure, and innovation based on 5 pillars, namely economy, quantum jump in economy, infrastructure, one that represents modern India, systems 21st century technology driven, vibrant demography, and demand whereby the strength of our demand and supply chain should be utilized to full capacity. The reforms announced have been systematic, planned, integrated, interconnected, futuristic for creating strong enterprises, generating employment and robust supply chain. Vocal for local and make in India for the global have become the vision of this country, mission of this country, objective of this country. And during in the third tranche of Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, the government of India have allocated 1.5 lakh crore as the booster for the agriculture sector. Democratizing the future of farming, achieving sustainable development goal 2, zero hunger in a situation of rapid global population growth requires a continued focus on food production. Farming not merely needs to sustainably produce nutritious diets, but should also provide livelihoods for farmers while retaining natural ecosystems and services. Sustainable Development Goals. In September 2015, world leaders adopted the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and its 17 goals that cut across disciplines, sectors, and institutional mandates, acknowledging the integrated nature of many challenges that the humanity faces, from gender inequality to inadequate infrastructure, from youth unemployment to environmental degradation. And in the preamble to the 2030 Agenda, the world leaders affirmed that they are determined to protect the planet from degradation, including through sustainable consumption and production, sustainably managing its natural resources, and taking urgent action on climate change so that it can support the needs of the present and future generations. All the country and the stakeholders, including UNEP, are working in collaboration to implement the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. 17 Sustainable Development Goals and 169 targets and 241 indicators are there to measure the progress towards achieving the agenda. Synopsis of the today's talk. And according to the FAO's website information, today's talk and also the associated achievement by Dr. Chandrashekhar Bhadsavle, it says that his work is related to 6 sustainable development goals. 1, no poverty. 2, zero hunger. 3, good health and well-being. 6, clean water and sanitation. And 8, decent work and economic growth. And 13 is climate action. This is how the FAO website have categorized the Dr. Chandrashekhar Bhadsavle's work. And I quoted from the FAO's website. Global warming and food shortage are the two most detrimental problems faced by our planet today. Both of them can be taken care of only by the farmers, according to Dr. Chandrashekhar Bhadsavle. But farming today pictures lack of dignity, drudgery of labor, and poverty. This has resulted in farmers getting old. The average age of a global farmer today is 60. For any human being to survive and perform meaningfully, 4 things are essential, according to Dr. Chandrashekhar Bhadsavle, rather than 3 things. He quoted, 4th one stands first, that is dignity. This is followed by food, clothing, and shelter. This is especially ardent in the case of farmers, as dignity to farming will be able to attract able youth, not merely youth, able youth to the farming. The easiest way to give dignity to the farmer for their monotonously hard work is agro-rural tourism. This is defined as it is an activity organized by a farmer himself on his active farm where leisure learning and fun are combined together. Methodology, he is proposing it. Agriculture rural tourism has win-win cascading effects in rural areas. I would like to quote, based on this, during this webinar series, and a youth who worked in various international companies, now he has left the MNCs and is working in Kodaikanal Hills, an agriculture rural tourism project under the heading Smart Hill Agriculture. And his name is Perinbam Manikavasa. Similarly, another reason why modern youth is uninterested in farming is because of the drudgery in farming operations. And this drudgery cannot be avoided just by daydreaming of mechanization. In a country like India, where 80% of the land holding is less than 1 hectare. So also climate smart technique is very essential in today's scenario to be able to successfully carry out our food production. Saguna rice technique is such an agronomic technique which reduces treasury in the farming, gives considerably increased productivity at lower cost of production, making the farmer happy, confident. SRT also guarantees healthy soil and a happy environment. I would like to quote what Rajya Sabha TV monitor said on 12th December 2020 on Saguna rice technique. It said it is an Saguna rice technique is a unique new method of cultivation of rice related rotation crops without plowing, puddling, and transplanting on permanent raised beds. This is zero till conservation agriculture type of cultivation method evolved at Saguna Baug, Neral, district Raigad, Maharashtra. Permanent raised beds used in this method facilitates ample of oxygen supply to root zone area while maintaining optimum moisture condition there. SRT Iron Pharma, the tool will be better soon, facilitates planting of crop in predetermined distances, enabling precise plant population per unit area. Absence of puddling and transplanting of rice makes it possible for not dependent on erratic behavior of rain. The Rajya Sabha TV monitor also talks about advantages of SRT for not having to do puddling and transplanting and hand hoeing. Saves 30% to 40% cost of production. 30% to 40% of cost of production and not requiring transplanting saves 50% of treacherous labor. Loss of valuable silt about 20% during puddling can be prevented, thus more fertile land can be handed over to the next generation. In the website betterindia.com, dated 14th September 2021, the author Kiran Kumar Bose said, 71-year-old farmer's unique technique helps 4,000 others earn profit without tilling. Farmer, food scientist turned farmer, Chandrashekhar Bhadsavle, fondly addressed by the farmers as Dada. I also call you Dada. Introduced Saguna rice technique among a handful of farmers in Neral in 2013. Today, it is practiced by progressive farmers in all the 16 agroclimatic zones of Maharashtra. In a demonstration of sorts, Maharashtra's Department of Agriculture tried the SRT method under the National Food Security Mission 2015-16 in Meda and Kudal of Dahiwali Taluk, Sindhudurg district, and concluded that compared to the conventional practice, it succeeded due to the reduced use of weedicides, increased plant height, and improved yield. Intriguingly, the agricultural universities and institutions, namely Indian Agricultural Research Institute, have yet to acknowledge the SRT's climate resilient behavior. Though the United Nations Food and Agricultural Organization termed it as conservation agriculture in its publication dated April 2021. And also says that it is now been accepted by the World Bank Project on Climate Resilient Agriculture for drought-prone 16 districts of Maharashtra for resolving soil and water issues of the region. For crops such as cotton, soybean, pigeon pea, maize, sorghum, pearl millet, green gram, and chickpea, etc. It is accepted for the vision of Andotya documentation of the best practices for sustainable development by ISRN, that is Indian Social Responsibility Network of the Ministry of Agriculture. Happiness and dignity to a small farmer is possible, according to Dr. Chandrashekhar Bhadsavle. Small farmers are giving up. Their next generation is rapidly losing interest in farming. SRT brought an unparalleled change and made every farmer happy and confident for the first time in their life soon after their adoption to the SRT. Now their next generation, after experiencing dignity to the farming, even though they are joining and taking over the farming profession. Now, their next generation, after experiencing dignity to the farming, even they are joining and taking over the farming profession. Addressing a session on the topic Research as a Driving Force Behind Sustainability as a part of the G20 Agriculture Ministers meet on 18th September 2021, the Indian Agriculture Minister Shri Narendra Singh Tomar said that to make countries self-reliant, concerned efforts will continue in agricultural research in areas such as genomics, digital agriculture, climate smart technologies and methods, efficient water use equipment, development of high yielding and bio-friendly varieties, systematic production, quality and safety standards, among others. Climate smart technologies and methods. Let us now turn to the address by Dr. Chandrashekhar Hari Bhadsavle, Krishi Ratna, Krishi Bhushan, founder and managing trustee, Saguna Rural Foundation, food scientist turned farmer, and inventor of Saguna rice technique, Saguna Baug, Raigad district, state of Maharashtra, on a very important topic, cultivating dignity for farmers through Saguna rice technique, a conservation agriculture, zero till, farmer friendly, climate smart path for rice farming. Today's topic will galvanize and motivate the participants watching our telecast through facebook.com Shobhit University India, youtube.com Shobhit University in, and linkedin.com company Shobhit University for establishing agri-tech startups, more than 6,500 agri-tech startups, one per gram, or even about 2.25 lakh agri-tech startups, one per each gram panchayat, promoting cultivating dignity for farmers, taking lessons from Dr. Chandrashekhar Hari Bhadsavle's experiment at Saguna Baug through agricultural rural tourism. Let me invite our guest speaker to address to the participants. Before that, let me introduce our guest speaker, Mr. Manish. Profile, please. Dr. Chandrashekhar Hari Bhadsavle is a successful farmer living in Raigad district in the state of Maharashtra in India, and he has successfully developed agricultural innovations like concept of agrotourism through his Saguna Baug farm, zero till farming through Saguna rice technique, Saguna Sanvartan technique for prevention of forest fires and regeneration of degraded hills and wastelands, and Saguna Jal Sanvartan technique to protect water bodies from invasive floating weeds. Son of a Gandhian freedom fighter, late Shri Harikaka Bhadsavle, born and raised on farm near Neral, Raigad district of Maharashtra, as his father decided to spend his lifetime energy for upliftment of Adivasi children. He grew up with them to establish Saguna Baug, one of the first agro-tourism farms to be established in India. Dr. Chandrashekhar started the Saguna Baug agro-tourism farm with about 35 acres of family land. Now he has more than 55 acres. Out of this, about 10 acres are under 6 earthen ponds for aquaculture, 15 acres for agroforestry, and 10 acres for horticulture, and 15 acres for field crops, and 5 acres for cattle barns and vermicomposting and activated slurry project. All of this is integrated with the tourism without losing land under cultivation to make a perfect example of agrotourism. Dr. Chandrashekhar Bhadsavle finished his undergraduation in agriculture in 1970 from Konkan Agricultural University in Maharashtra and proceeded for post-graduation in food technology at the University of California in USA, and worked in various food companies in California between 1972 to 75 and returned for good in 1976. Since 1976, he has been personally following the goal to find sustainable, worthwhile livelihood through farming profession. Dr. Chandrashekhar Bhadsavle has found that there is no dignity for farming profession. He found out the hard way that dignity is fourth necessity of human survival before food, clothing, and shelter, which can only come to farmer by sharing his knowledge of food protection. Thus was born Saguna Baug agrotourism, which can be a precise activity where a farmer can achieve his goal with an activity organized by farmer himself on his active farm, where leisure learning and fun is combined together. He received so many awards. Father of Agri-Tourism in India by Maharashtra State Agriculture Rural Tourism in December 2019. Krishi Ratna Award by Honorable Governor, Sri Vidyasagar Rao, State of Maharashtra in February 2019. For this Krishi Ratna Award is for 2015. Earth Care Award, What Save Farmer Award by International Commission on Irrigation and Drainage in Thailand. Jagjeevan Ram Kisan Puraskar 2004, Indian Council of Agricultural Research, Government of India. Asian Fisheries Puraskar, Central Institute of Fisheries Education. Yellam Patel Farmer of the Year Award 2001, ASPI Foundation. Krishi Bhushan 1998, Government of Maharashtra. An innovative farmer, by Indian Society of Extension Education in 1992. Dr. Chandrashekhar Bhadsavle has delivered talk in FAO Rome and Zurich on the topic Zero Till Conservation Agriculture for Rice, and also at Cornell University, USA, on growing no-till rice with SRT, increasing productivity with the Saguna rice technique on May 5th, 2015. With this introduction, we welcome Dr. Chandrashekhar Hari Bhadsavle to the National Webinar Series on Doubling Farmers' Income by 2022, Atmanirbhar Bharat in Agriculture, on the very important topic, cultivating dignity for farmers. Over to you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Professor Moni. I really don't have words to thank you for such an elaborate introduction. I'm so pleased that most of the subject, the work which we are doing, our team is doing, you have already put forth in front of the audience. And my job is easy now to try to share our experiences. And it is, once again, I thank you. I really appreciate this effort of your university that you are giving an opportunity for a person to explain his usefulness, explain his or her topic to the audience, to the important people of this nation, so that the impact, the progressive impact, the positive impact can be made very effectively through those techniques. It is, I'm sure, this effort of yours will take each one of this innovation, each one of this thought process towards Atmanirbhar Bharat at a higher speed. So your efforts will really enhance the speed of the objective of our country, of our Prime Minister, of Atmanirbhar Bharat. And before even I start talking, I would like to promise that me and my team is with you, with your university, towards this goal of Atmanirbhar Bharat, with all our efforts, with all our energy, and with all our time. Thank you very much for this opportunity, and I will try to make best of my time that you have provided. I would like to start saying that this topic of cultivating dignity for farmers, which I will be talking, because this is a subject which is so close to my heart, dignity to the farmer. You see, when we say that we want to make the farmer's income as double, means we think that the income of the farmer today is not enough. Let us say, if we take a person working in Tehsil Kacheri with the same age and same qualification and same efforts, the income of the farmer certainly is very, very poor. He's it's very less. And that's why we call farmers are usually poor farmers. Uh, Here, the picture which I'm showing you right now is a farmer. It's the most ideal farmer in my mind. And I'm very fortunate that I'm going to have the farmer is right here in this room, and he's going to be talking with you all, and he's going to show you. I'm looking at a farmer. This is my vision. This is the vision my father, my Gandhian father, told me, that the farmer should be happy rather than just the income. There was another person in Gandhiji's fraternity, uh, Appa Saheb Patwardhan. And I remember as a child, he used to come to our home because my father was a freedom fighter and a social reformer. Appa Saheb Patwardhan used to say that money is no good, and there has to be chalan shuddhi, and so many thoughts. My father used to say that money is so worthless that if you throw that money in front of chicken, the chicken will not eat it. So money is no good. The food is more important. And this is what I inherited, those thoughts. And based on those thoughts, I feel that the person, the farmer, who is producing food for the country, food for the world, food for all those brothers and sisters, that person, the farmer, should be happy and not money. So, only doubling of the income of the farmer is not enough. This is what I'm going to show you, and I'm going to show you how our team's efforts have changed it. And this particular farmer, his name is Parshuram. That's my model farmer. He's my he's my uh, he's my hero. So he is here, and he's going to talk to you later. He's going to share his experiences. I know he cannot speak in English, and I know his Hindi also is no good, but he's going to try. You can see him, you can interact him, you can even ask him the questions. But I want to proceed with this farmer. This is a typical farmer of our state, and I'm sure this is a typical farmer of our country. What do we see him? What do we see in him? He is tired. He is worried. He has no hopes, and he has no vision. He only thinks that he should earn a little bit more than what he is making today, and this way he thinks that he might become happy. And this is why our Prime Minister's vision that doubling his income is a perfect idea. But according to me, that's not enough, because this farmer, he is probably thinking that he's half the age, half the life is over, so he should earn a little bit more. But this young man, he is in his late 20s or early 30s. He thinks he has got vision. He has got hopes. He has got a family to build and grow. But what he is inherited and what he is ended up with, this is what he is ended up with: a knee-high water, depending on the rain, that he thinks that this is not enough. This is not the time when I should have had done the transplanting. It should have been over at least 15 days earlier. So he is stuck with a lot of problems of weather, change in weather, problems of poverty, problems of money, problems of health, and so many other problems. They're already, you had listed them. I think somebody from Dr. Vidyarthi, the scientist or a philosopher that you mentioned. But these are the typical farmers. This is another farmer. Now, this farmer, he is having a tractor. He has got very good field. His family even has a bungalow. So, but this farmer farmer is still not happy. His income is much too bigger than earlier two farmers, but this farmer is still not happy. Do you know why? Because he is trying to look for a proper bride. He wants to marry because nobody is ready to marry him. The young girls from even villages, they don't want to come to this farm after getting married because the most importantly, it's monotonously hard work because there is no dignity. And this is why this young man is unhappy. So, what we need a happy farmer. We need that farmer who is providing food for the whole country, food for the people. He must become happy, and that happiness can come from many other factors, not just by doubling of farmers' income. Doubling of farmers' income has to be fringe benefit. There has to be much more than that, much more than this. So, what we have got this technique called SRT, Saguna Rice Technique. Now, though it is labeled as Saguna Rice Technique, it is not only for rice, it is for many, many different crops. It is for, we have counted almost 25, 26 different crops farmers are using in Maharashtra in 6 agroclimatic zones with 26 different districts. More than 5,000 farmers have adopted this technique in last 8 years, and they all have become happy. One of the example is here. This farmer here, he's growing Indrayani rice in his field in the kharif crop in the rainy season, and he's getting close to between 3.5 to 4 ton of paddy uh, in an acre. Now, 3 ton, even if he's growing 3 ton, this paddy is a very special high class paddy which fetches 25 to 30 rupees kilo. So pretty good value for his crop. The second crop in the winter that he takes is lettuce, and lettuce he got 17 ton of lettuce in his 1 acre of land, in the same acre of land as a second crop, a second relay crop after rice. And here it is. This is broccoli. He takes it in the summer, and that is 500 kilo of broccoli. Now, altogether, his total income was almost 3 lakhs to 3.5 lakhs in 1 year. Before he was adopting SRT, he was getting hardly 70,000 to 1 lakh rupees per acre. Now he is getting 3 times more, 4 times more. And then his cost of production has reduced to half. So these are the stories I'm going to share. Now, here is an example of a young girl. She's only in her early 20s. She's agricultural graduate and stays in the rural area. Before SRT, she was kind of confused. She was wondering what should she do, whether she should go for a job or she should stay in a rural area and do some kind of a work. Her inclination was a social kind of a thing. She likes to teach people. She likes to take everybody along with her, and she wants the whole society to rise. Her name is Rasika. Rasika, after adopting SRT 2 years ago, she is finding amazing experiences. Her yield has gone up from 1,000 kilo of paddy to 3,000 kilo of paddy in 1 acre. She's getting a lot of time, because of which she is able to spend a lot of time in training this technique, in teaching this technique to all the people in the rural areas. She visits, she goes all over. She's also got a small shop where she sells all agricultural inputs. So she got confidence, she is happy, she's got time, and she's able to spend a lot of time of her passion, which is social cause, teaching people, uplifting the society. So this is another very interesting example. Look at this great lady. the way she is standing, the way her body language, she's so confident. Before SRT, she would never had this confidence. She was always worried, and she was always bogged down by uh, climatic problems which are created by so many other factors which are already listed, that the problems that are faced by the farmers in the rural India. But now she stands so strong. Even her whole family is with her now. Earlier, her children were thinking that they should better off sell away the land rather than cultivating it. But now with SRT method, where there is assurance of the crop, even if there is climatic problem, the crop is assured. Oh, I forgot to mention one thing about this particular young lady. This particular field is standing by the side of a river in Sudhagarpali district in Jambulpada, which is very known for the floods, very severe floods. Each year, her plot was getting flooded, and she could get hardly any produce. But now with SRT method, last both the last all these 3 years, her field was flooded from 5 feet to 10 feet water, flood water above the field, above the crop, and yet she is getting very good results. She even stood first at taluka level and district level in the crop competition. So these are some of the examples I want to show and share, that the farmers, when their drudgery is reduced, when their crop is assured, even after the climate change, even after problems, shortage of labor, depending on the tractor and so on, all those things are gone. So their dependence on the tractor is gone, their dependence on the weather is gone, their dependence on the excess labor which is required for transplanting at the same time when everybody else is needing. That all three independent dependencies are gone, and they have become independent and happy. And on top of it, when the crop is doubled, which they have never seen before, the crop looks very resilient. It is so beautiful. Each day when they look at their field, their happiness multiplies. This is what gives them the confidence and the happiness. So you can see all these things. Look at this young man. They are three brothers. Earlier farmers, they were from the high rainfall zone, that is Konkan, Raigad district, Thane district, and so on. But here, this young man, he is from Pune district, and he grows in Kharif season. He grows jowar, sorghum, but and all these three brothers, they are able to utilize their field 300% because they have got irrigation facility. And with SRT, because there is no tillage operation, because there is no ploughing, puddling, or tillage or intercultivation, none of that. So they get a lot of time. They are able to utilize their land three times, three different crops, and because of which they are very happy, they are very confident, and now they are also spreading the technique to their all local people, their villagers, and so on. I'm sharing you these various examples from different climate zones and different crops. This young man, he is from Gadchiroli. You may have heard Gadchiroli for various other negative things, but we are going to change the whole image of all those areas to positivity now. The farmers have taken up this challenge, that they will change the name of their locality as positive things. This man, this farmer, this is his third crop after rice, and no, this is his second crop of Rabi, and this is safflower. And in case of safflower, which is a very important oil, because of its many problems, one of them is difficult work trying to grow this safflower. Because of SRT, the crop the cultivation of even this difficult crop has become easy. and this is why he is able to take this crop, and he got double, triple yield, and again become very confident. This farmer is from Marathwada, and that means the Aurangabad area, Aurangabad district, where these are the drought prone areas, and this is where the POKRA, project on climate resilient agriculture, project by World Bank, is undertaken. And this farmer, this is his fourth crop on the same beds, same permanent beds by SRT method. In Kharif, he took cotton. The second crop was maize, corn. The third crop was again the next season, Kharif, that was cotton. And now he has planted marigold as floriculture. Each time, according to the protocol of SRT, he kept his roots in the soil. We are going to show you a small short film later on in this presentation. What is SRT and how it works? Because right now I'm showing you different things, different farmers, their experiences. So during the time which is allotted to me, we are going to show you various different things from different angles, and how this particular technique is useful and making big change, big impact on the farmers, on the land from Aurangabad region, which is a drought prone area, very little rainfall. The soils are beautiful, but that resource is becoming, that soil is becoming salty because of various problems. But with SRT, all the things are changing. The soil EC is changing, the soil is changing from salty to a better thing. The pH is changing from very alkaline to neutral, and their organic carbon is increasing. So all these things, positive changes are happening even in case of soil. So the farmers are becoming happy. Their income has not only doubled, it has quadruplated, because their cost of production has reduced and yield has doubled. So many times it is quadruplated or even more. So doubling of farmers' income is not a issue anymore for us when we use SRT. Our worry and our objective is that farmer must become happy and he must become confident. And that happens when, like in this picture, the farmer is to our left, and there is an agricultural officer in the glass wearing glasses on our right. So agricultural officers also take a lot of interest when they're able to teach this simple technique, SRT, to the farmers. Because when they teach this technique, when they take the technique to the farmer, a great impact is seen in case of the farmers, everything which, out of those 17 sustainable development goals, as Professor Moni referred, SRT is addressing 6 goals. So poverty, food security, their happiness, healthy environment, healthy living, and so on. But at the same time, the farmer is also doing one more thing which he even doesn't know. He's addressing the carbon situation, the carbon sequestration. This particular farmer, we visited his field last year, and he was able to show the roots of all 3 previous crops. The cotton in the first year, maize, corn in the second crop, third crop again cotton, and then he had planted this marigold. So absolutely fantastic results. The farmers are becoming happy, farmers are becoming confident, and the associated agriculture officers also become happy and confident, because these are the things everywhere. Now this is a farmer from Vidarbha. He is from Nagpur area, and this particular farmer, third from left or third from right, this particular farmer, he took off from his profession of he was working for press, international press. He left that job, came into farming. He came to know about SRT, and now he and his whole family is very happy and confident. He is doing it for fourth year now, and he is the first farmer who could demonstrate growing wheat without burning parali, without stubble burning of the rice. And now at least 2 dozen to 3 dozen farmers in Maharashtra are able to take wheat crop without burning paddy straw or paddy stubble. So they have become very happy. Their land has become very happy. The yield, in case of this farmer from Nagpur, he is able to increase his rice yield, as well as his wheat yield. Used to be traditionally, he used to get 7 to 8 quintals per acre. With SRT technique, without burning paddy stubble, he is now able to get 13 to 14 quintals of wheat per acre. So both the crops yield has increased. He can actually take even the third crop of mung. He's already started taking it. But the most important is, after coming from city life, he is enjoying his life as a rice farmer, and he's very happy. His whole family is happy, and his whole family has become confident. So these are the things which are very important to us. And this young man with yellow shirt, he's our SRT Sevak. We have SRT Sevaks who, we are really dedicated. The whole team is dedicated that we want to see happy farmer. This is our motto, this is our mission, and we want to, and this is how to be able to do this. Many times, as I showed you this earlier farmer from Nagpur, I have never met him, or none of our SRT Sevak also have met him before. But the techniques, simplicity is so easy, it is so simple that we can teach a long distance farmer even through a mobile phone with the technology which technology skills which Professor Moni was mentioning. We use very simple and easy technique which even I can understand or a farmer can understand. On a mobile, we can teach a farmer. But here, in case of this young man, Yogesh, he is our SRT Sevak. Amazing work he has done. He has gone door to door to the farmers, and now he has become so popular that I worry that he might even stand for election. But I hope he doesn't do that. We still need him, and farmers need him. And so if anyone, when we make a farmer happy, the farmer also blesses us. The farmer thinks of us. The farmer gives us, he shares his happiness with us. And that is dignity to us also, and that is happiness to us also. So happiness and dignity is much more than money. It's much more than just doubling of my income or farmer's income. And this is what is needed, and this is what we are getting out of SRT method, where you can see here the farmers from all region. They're all different regions and different stages of rice crop. This is another very interesting thing in case of SRT, that when a farmer adopts SRT, well, the first 1 month, everybody else around, they laugh at it, they tease him, they pick on him. They say, "Aisa kabhi hota hai kya? That you don't plow the land, you don't puddle the land, you don't do transplanting. Aisa kabhi dhan ug sakta hai kya?" But then he demonstrates, and when the crop starts looking good after say 45 days, then suddenly they start peeping in his field, and after 2 months the crop looks really beautiful. And these are the things when at the time of harvesting, each and every farmer of SRT becomes very, very happy. And this is what we wanted, this is what we asked to the God, and God gave it to us, this technique, and it's absolutely fantastic. The farmers, the whole village, when whole village becomes happy, our efforts are fulfilled. We get all the happiness and we get all the satisfaction. And so this is what we are looking for. I would like to show you a little video here. This particular tribal farmer, he is got only half an acre of land, not 1 acre, half acre. That's 20 R. He used to get only 8,000 rupees a year from his half acre. Now he gets much more, which he will explain in his this video. We have dubbed this video in English language. We have made some efforts, and we are going to share this video. You can look at his body language, look at his eyes. His wife, typical tribal woman, she doesn't speak at all, but you can, whenever she smiles, you can look at her, see how happy she is. And this is what we wanted, that a farmer should become happy. He is another role model of our SRT technique. And so look at this young man. He's a typical farmer, half acre, and he's become very happy. He's become completely independent, and especially his last couple of sentences. Try to understand those sentences. After this film, I'm going to showcase my hero, Parshuram. He is going to talk about this. Please go ahead.
This rice crop is planted by SRT method. SRT means zero tension. My yield is double now. Earlier, I used to get 7 to 8 bags of paddy. Now I get 14 to 15 bags. Cultivation used to be very costly affair, having lower yield. Now I don't have to depend on tractor and excess labor anymore. Oh, and very important, I can take 2 crops now in a year in the same field in 2 different seasons. Ah, those were the ghostly bad days during traditional method of farming. The situation was so difficult that the food grown by traditional method was not even enough to feed my family. But since I started SRT, all my tension is vanished. After keeping sufficient food for my family, for the whole year, I still make extra 70 to 80,000 rupees as savings. Now I can easily enjoy all festivals, all rituals, and all family functions. Our earlier life and the life after SRT is hugely different, and we are very confident now. As I was visualizing my growing age, I used to get nightmares. When I will grow old, how will I be able to perform the agricultural operations? All the time, I was thinking about the problems and troubles. As a SRT farmer, there is no fear in my mind at all, and my family is very happy. SRT is solely responsible for it.
नमस्कार। मेरा नाम है परशुराम आगिवले। मैं आदिवासी किसान हूँ, छोटा किसान हूँ। 1 एकड़ मेरी ज़मीन है और मेरा गांव भी पहाड़ों में बीच में है। तो मैं पहले बात तो एक बात बताना चाहता हूँ कि मैं पहाड़ों के बीच में रहने वाला हूँ, इसलिए मुझे हिंदी तो अच्छी नहीं आती, लेकिन मैं थोड़ा आपके साथ प्रयास ज़रूर करूँगा। थोड़ा मराठी हिंदी में मिक्स भी हो जाएगी, तो आप मुझे ज़रा संभाल के करिए। तो ठीक है। तो मैं जब मुझे 22-23 साल हो गए, मैं अपना 1 एकड़ में खेती कर रहा था। तो हमारे पिताजी जो कर रहे थे वही हम भी कर रहे थे, और ये करने से हम साहजिक हम पहाड़ों के बीच में रहने वाले हो, तो कुछ हमको मालूम भी नहीं था कैसा टेक्नोलॉजी रहता है वगैरह, अंदाज ही नहीं था। तो हम जब कर रहे थे तो हम और मेरी बीवी, हम दो हमारे खेत में पूरा साल हम काम कर रहे थे, लेकिन हमारे जो आमदनी रहती थी वो हमारे 15 तो 16,000 में ही इसके आसपास ही रहते थे। और बहुत संकट आते थे, बारिश गिरने के बाद, ज्यादा बारिश होने से बाद हमारी खेती हर साल कुछ ना कुछ कारण से खेत में हम ऐसा रहता है कि हमारी खेती ही अच्छी आमदनी नहीं आती थी। तो ये सब होने के बाद हम बहुत तकलीफ में आए थे कि खेती में पूरा समय बिताने के बाद भी हमारा कोई, मैं अपने बेटे के लिए अच्छी शिक्षा नहीं दे पा रहा था। ये सब बहुत प्रॉब्लम थे मेरे लिए। तो ये सब होने के बाद मैं तो थक ही गया था, मैं बहुत दुखी और मैं तकलीफ में भी था और बहुत दुखी था। मैं ऐसा ही बोल रहा था कि मेरी पूरी जो जिंदगी है, तो ये जिंदगी ऐसे ही कट जाएगी और मेरे समय में कभी आनंद आ जाएगा, ये इसका मैंने अपने जीवन में कभी ख्याल भी नहीं रखा था। लेकिन कहते हैं ना, कुछ ना कुछ ले कोई ना कोई एक मार्ग, एक दिशा तो मिलती है। तो ऐसे ही मैंने एक दिन एसआरटी टेक्नोलॉजी के बारे में मैं सगुना बाग में देखने के लिए आया। मैंने इससे पहले तो बहुत टेक्नोलॉजी अपने थी, कोई बता नहीं तो बढ़ती थी, लेकिन मेरे जो रहता है वो प्रॉब्लम कभी कम नहीं हुआ था। तो वो लेबर का, हल चलाने का, ट्रैक्टर भाड़े से लेने का, ये सब तो मुझे लगा हाँ, यही यही इसका ही मुझे इंतजार था। यही टेक्नोलॉजी है जो मुझे कुछ ना कुछ देने वाला है। मेरा जो जो प्रॉब्लम है वो सब इसने, क्योंकि वो मैंने जब ने अपनाई तो मुझे ये अंदाजा नहीं था इसमें क्या है। मैंने ऐसा ही सोचा जो दूसरे टेक्नोलॉजी है वैसा ही ये भी होगा। तो मैंने ये अपनाने के बाद मुझे कुछ अच्छी बातें समझ में आने लगी। और अच्छी बातें ये थी कि मेरा जो प्रॉब्लम थे हल चलाने का, भाड़े से ट्रैक्टर लेने का, लेबर का, और पानी बारिश के टाइम बारिश का राह देखने का, ये समय एसआरटी टेक्निक जब मैंने किया, ये पद्धत मैंने स्वीकारी, तो ये इसका मुझे जरूरत ही नहीं पड़ा। मैंने एक ही बार अपना हल चला के बाद अपने बेड बनाए थे, और वो बेड में मैंने सीधी बुआई की। सीधी बुआई करने के बाद मुझे ये लगा कि मुझे चिक्कल गाढ़ा करना लगता है ट्रैक्टर से, वो करना नहीं पड़ा मुझे। पहली बार वो बीज लगते हैं, बीज बहुत महंगा रहता है, वो भी जब मैं 20-25 किलो लेता था तो वो 10-8 किलो में हो गया 1 एकड़ में। और मैंने सबसे पहले लगाया, मेरा खेत मैंने पहले बारिश में लगाया। तो उससे कारण मुझे ध्यान में आया, मैंने कोई हल नहीं चलाया, मैं कुछ किया नहीं, और मैंने सबसे पहले मेरा हल खेत का लगाया है। तो मुझे अच्छा लगा कि मेरे पास समय मिल गया, और मुझे पहली बार जिंदगी में एक किसान को भी समय मिलता है, ये मैंने अनुभवा। और इसके कारण मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा, समय मिल गया। समय मिलने से बाद मुझे कुछ आइडिया मिल गया कि ये मैं समय का उपयोग क्या करूं। मैंने पहले साल था तो वो मुझे इतना तो याद नहीं आया, लेकिन मैं उस साल में मैं दूसरे के खेत में जाकर अपना वो जैसे मोल मजूरी करके दूसरे के खेत में पैसा मिलता है, वो मैंने किया। और मेरे बीबी ने और मेरे 2,000 रुपए मैंने कमाया। और पहली बार मैंने ऐसा देखा कि मुझे मेरे खेत सबसे पहला लगने के बाद भी मैंने पैसा कमाया। और धीरे धीरे मुझे ऐसा समझ में आया कि मैं जो हल चलाता था उसके कारण मेरी मिट्टी की जो धूप होती थी वो धूप बंद होने लगी। पहला बारिश होने के बाद मेरे खेत में पानी अंदर गिरने लगा, वो मिट्टी में अंदर जाने लगा। और मैं जब हाँ, भात जो राइस रहता है उसके बाद जो मैं दूसरा फसल लगाता हूँ, उसके लिए मुझे कोई हल चलाना नहीं पड़ा। मैंने सबसे पहले भी उसको लगाया, सब्जी लगाई, और मैं सबसे पहला मार्केट में लेके गया। तो वो उसका भाव भी मुझे 4 पट से ज्यादा मिला। मुझे जैसा रहता है 20 रुपए किलो रहता है, तो कोई मार्केट में स्पर्धा ही नहीं कोई, तो मुझे उसका 60 रुपए 50 रुपए मिला। तो छोटे से काम के लिए सबसे पहला लगाने का फायदा भी ये हुआ कि मुझे भाव भी ज्यादा मिला, मुझे पैसे भी ज्यादा मिले। और उसके लिए मुझे कोई हल, फिर वापस मैंने कोई हल चलाया नहीं, कोई जुताई नहीं किया, बुआई नहीं किया, ये सब मेरा इतना कि मुझे एक खेती धीरे धीरे समझ में आने लगी और मेरा आमदनी भी बढ़ गई। जब मैं एक साल में एक बार फसल लेता था तो धीरे धीरे मैं साल में 3 बार फसल लेने लगा। और मैं ऐसा समझ में आया कि ये मेरी 1 एकड़ जमीन नहीं है, तो ये मेरी 3 एकड़ में जमीन हो गई। और 3 एकड़ में साल में 3 बार जब मैं फसल लेने लगा तो मेरा जो प्रॉब्लम थे, मेरे जो बीवी जो समय सदैव दुखी रहती थी, तो वो भी आनंद, हमारे घर में जो आनंद रहता है किसान में, किसान के खेत में घर में कभी आनंद नहीं रहता, वो आनंद हमारे घर में आने लगे। तो धीरे धीरे ये सब करने से मेरे को जो मेरे बच्ची को मैंने अच्छी शिक्षा दी, और अच्छी शिक्षा देने के कारण वो आज नर्सिंग कोर्स भी कर रही है, और दूसरी बच्ची मेरी अच्छे स्कूल में भी पढ़ रही है। और पहले जो मेरा प्रॉब्लम था कि इधर जो आसपास के लोग थे वो आदिवासी होने के कारण कभी कुछ मुझे जैसा कहते हैं ना, ये सब आदिवासी रहता है, उसको कुछ समझ में नहीं आता। तो धीरे धीरे मेरे से जो लोगों का रहता है वो पहचाने का अलग तरीका मुझसे लगा, वो मेरे से अच्छी तरह बात करने लगे और मेरे खेत में भी आने लगे। और धीरे धीरे ये होने के बाद मेरे गांव के लोग भी मैं जो कर रहा था वो गांव के लोगों ने भी धीरे धीरे मेरे जैसा ही करने लगे। और धीरे धीरे मेरा 80% गांव पूरा एसआरटी में हो गया। और सबको एक समान ये टेक्निकल इतनी अच्छी लगी कि इससे हमारा गांव की भी पूरा नक्शा ही बदल गया है। और इसके कारण बहुत फायदे दिखने लगे हमारे पास, समय मिलने के कारण गांव के लोग अपना खेती भी करते हैं और वो समय का उपयोग आसपास के कोई लघु उद्योग करता है, कोई अपने जैसा जिसका रहता है उसके समय से बाहर जाकर भी काम करते हैं। तो इसका दोनों को भी हमारा खेती भी अच्छी होने लगी और हमारे बाहर से भी आमदनी आने लगी। तो इस तरह की धीरे धीरे हमारे पास हमारे गांव में शिक्षा आने लगी, हमारी सोच बदलने लगी। और एक टेक्नोलॉजी जो इतना कम खर्च में इतना अच्छा फायदा देते हैं, और कभी बारिश भी हो गया, कभी कुछ हो गया तो उसको हमको डर नहीं लगता कि मेरी खेती के कुछ नुकसान हो जाएगा, ऐसा कोई होता नहीं। तो हमको गारंटी लगने लगी कि हाँ, ये इसमें हम लगाते उसका पूरा फायदा मिलेगा। तो ये धीरे धीरे ऐसा होने से अब हमारे साथ सब हमारा परिवार भी खुश है और हमारा गांव भी खुश है। और ये शेखर दादा ने हमारे लिए जैसे किसान, छोटे किसानों के लिए, ट्राइबल एरिया के लिए ये वरदान जैसी ही पद्धत है, ये टेक्नोलॉजी है, हम उसको वरदान ही समझते हैं टेक्नोलॉजी को। एक टेक्नोलॉजी इतने कुटुंब को अच्छी तरह संभाल सकती है। तो इस तरह मैं तो ज्यादा नहीं बोल सकता, तो धन्यवाद जी।
Well, thank you so much, Professor Moni, that you allow me to share this farmer with you, and I hope the time was worth it. I'm going to show you another experience from a different area. This farmer is from low rainfall area, rain shadow area, and this is where the Pokhara project on climate resilient agriculture by World Bank and Maharashtra government, they are doing their work. And take a look at this particular farmer's views and his experiences. And after this, I'm going to request a agronomist from Pokhara, Mr. Vijay Kolekar, to come on the screen and share his experiences. So here it is, the film by a farmer. He's a farmer. He grows cotton, maize, maize, soybean, and all this kind of rotation by no-till SRT method. Please go ahead.
I'm going to tell you story of no-till farming. No-till is not spending even 1 rupee on tillage. If we open up a little soil here, you will see lots of earthworms. The vermicompost has become available here naturally and at no cost. I have planted maize as second crop after tomato without any tillage. Even to do one operation of rotavator, it cost me 1600 to 1800 rupees. All one needs is spraying of one weedicide that costs only rupees 400. All the crop residue of previous crop are seen throughout the field. The plant part for the motherly land. If we adopt this SRT technique, no one will think of extreme thoughts such as suicide.
Professor Mani, I would request you to please invite Mr. Vijay Kolekar.
Yeah. You are muted, sir, I think. Professor Moni, sir, you are muted.
I'm sorry. I'm pleased to welcome Mr. Vijay Kolkar, Senior Economist of the World Bank Project of Climate Resilient Agriculture. Thank you very much for joining of the very important webinar series, 57th edition of the National Webinar Series on Doubling Farmers' Income. And Dr. Hari, Chandrashekhar Hari Bhadsavle ji has called Dada. Is a very wonderful experience today. He has shown farming by evidence.
Yeah.
And it's very important, by evidence-based, farming. And he brought people from different parts of Madhya Pradesh. They talk about it, and we are very happy as the former Director General, National Informatics Center, took interest in IT and agriculture 3 decades, ago. And now after my retirement as DGNIC in 2013, now I joined the university and set up centers of excellence to promote agricultural informatics is a discipline to attract youth to get into agriculture. And during the COVID situation, I thought that I should do my work, and I initiated 2 webinar series. One is on doubling farmers' income. Another is international webinar series on open source digital technology towards self-reliant India. Both have completed 57 editions by today. So 57 plus 57, 114.
Yeah.
And thanks to people like Dr. Hari Chandrashekhar, Hari Bhadsavle, and I'm also very happy that yesterday when he talked about you, I thought that I should request him to join. Over to you, Vijayji,
Yeah.
your experience.
Thank you for this wonderful introduction of your total exercise till now. And 57 editions have completed, and 104 programs have been completed. So congratulations to the university, and we are very much happy to see that the agriculture sector is becoming a part of any university's initiatives in digitization as well as in IT sector also. So this is what is needed, as we see since last 7 decades. We are fighting with food crisis and all these things. Our whole country is now fighting with this thing. Until today, we can't say that our country is self-reliant, self-dignified in agriculture. Though we export many things, our farmers, when we say our farmers, the farmers are not getting the position which they deserve. And this is why the dignity to the farmers is becoming very important. And as rightly mentioned by Dada and explained well in his last 1 hour discussion, he has pointed out many things, how anybody, how society can recognize the farmers, the farming, and their contribution in many ways. Now, let's not talk of that things, how that can be, but farmers themselves can now showcase how they can do better for the society. and they have proved it during pandemic last 2 years. Whole community, farming communities, feeding the country and feeding the whole globe with very relentless, very hard work, and now they are moving ahead. The slogan of doubling farmer income we in the sense I am from Department of Agriculture, Government of Maharashtra, and we are running a project on climate resilient agriculture with the help of World Bank since last 3 years, and now this is a project of 6 years duration, and implemented in 5,000 plus villages in Maharashtra, which are climatically vulnerable villages. Vulnerability assessment is done on a very meritorious basis, wherein 25 different parameters are taken into consideration, and for that we decided that let us uplift those villages to some one level ahead, so they can be resilient to various climatic shocks. And that's why we have defined our motto to enhance resilience and profitability of the farmers, smallholder farmers in selected villages of drought and suicide prone districts of Maharashtra. And as one of the farmer before my session, he explained that he explained that there will not be any suicides if they continue for such type of farming system. So that's why the agrarian distress can be reduced also through the systems which we are discussing now. So the project is moving in that direction, and we have defined our triple win solution. That is to enhance. There are three things to enhance: resilience, profitability, and dignity of the farmers. So RPD. So if we want to enhance resilience, profitability, and dignity, we should go by three different ways. One is enhancing water security, another is enhancing soil health, and third is enhancing the value chains through diversification. So if we do these three things at farm level, at farmer group level, and at community level, again there are three areas or layers you can say: individual farmer level, group farming level, and a village or a community level. So all these three solutions, if applied to three layers, definitely there will be a definite result, which will show us this farming community or the farmers are becoming resilient. The villagers are becoming resilient. To do or to make the villages resilient needs multi-sector approach, and this multi-sector approach includes, as I said earlier, water, soil, diversification, value chain. Many things are there. Among that also, the basic fundamental block in building this total resilience in agriculture system is soil. And when we think of soil, there are so many stalwarts in soil science and soil technology and soil health doing their great work, not only in Maharashtra, but in India and also in global level. So whatever has been done since last decades of research in soil health, soil science, but we found that something is missing there at farmer level. And what was missing? Whenever we do more research, more we can say recommendations, more prescriptions to the farmers, always there is an element of cost attached to everything. And when we attach some costing, add some technology, there is additional cost. So when we look back, what was earlier? What was the earlier days of our farmers when they grown their food, which was sufficient, which was nutritious also? Then we found that there was something which was very much eco-friendly, environment-friendly, and the farming systems were totally environment-friendly, aligned to the rules of nature. And then we again saw that why the tillage itself came in picture. Our agriculture science starts with first sentence: till your land deep, plow your land deep, and then harrow, hoe, and all these things, and then apply some so and so, and then go ahead. So when we start our agriculture technology with tilling, why was it earlier? We then discovered some research was done, and even Dada helped us in other stalwarts also in farm practitioners actually. They also helped us in changing our views also. When we see our views, even we, though we are graduates in agriculture, since last so many decades, we are teaching, we are educating farmers with the same technology which are taught us to by universities. But when we look back and when we started thinking in deep, then we questioned ourselves why the tillage itself is required. And the requirement of tillage earlier, you can say maybe hundreds or thousands years back, the need of that hour, whether is it true today also? Then we found answer, no. The need of that hour is not today's need. Today we have so many techniques and so many methodologies to sow our seed. So then why tillage is needed? Then we thought that let us go by zero tillage technology. The no till, though it is very much common word now in global level, so many countries, so many regions in America and Australia and so many other places, they are practicing no till technology. Of course, their practices are aligned to their nature of agriculture, because there is vast and thousands and hundreds of acres of agriculture they have to be handled, and that's why their no-till practices are designed to suit their agriculture. When we come to Indian conditions, we have very small holders. If you take example of Maharashtra, out of 100, we have 82 farm holders who have land below 1 hectare, below 1.5 hectare. So that is how the smallholder population is now increasing. The fragmentation is increasing, smallholder population is increasing. So we are now almost all agriculture landholders will be smallholders by NABARD definition in few years. So when we think of this small holding and their capacity, adaptive capacity to cope up with the changing scenario in climate, changing scenario in economy, and changing scenario in market also. Because as we see, there are two extreme conditions for farmers. One is starts with climate and ends with market. So resilience for climate and resilience for market is very much necessary. So from moving from climate to market, in between this total agriculture cycle lies down. So when we think of this thing, the total life cycle of agriculture or organic crop is dependent on the tillage practices. So many tillage practices are step by step. They are very, you can say, cleverly designed by our ancestors. So right from, as I said, about different plowing practices, harvest practices, hoeing, interculturing, and again harvesting, and so many things. So if the total life cycle of the crop is dependent on many steps in tillages, if we remove all the steps in tillages, what will happen? Then this Dada's technology of Saguna rice technique, that opened our eyes. How if a farmer can reduce his tillage in rice farming, which is very much common in global level. Rice farming is very large area throughout globe. Whenever we talk, whenever we search for researchers work, I claim here around 60 or more % research work related to rice. So the rice farming is becoming free from tillage. How is it possible? So we studied that SRT technique developed by Dada on his farm about a decade ago. We started thinking on that, and then agriculture department also rethought the processes, and then we decided, let us work with him closely, work with the farmers who are adapting those practices, study their experiences, study the actual happening on the ground also. What is the, you can say, changes in the farming itself, the soil type, the soil, you can say, characters, and particularly organic carbon, which is now the, you can say, soul of any soil. So if agriculture ka soul hai, to that is the organic carbon is there. If we think of organic carbon, then we studied organic carbon percentage. If you want to enhance from currently, which is happening in, which is found in Maharashtra, around 0.3 to 0.6. It is a bit in between that range. If you take it to some 0.8 or 1%, then what is needed? So this technique of no tillage with some actual practices, because no till has a theoretical background, but how can it practiced on the farm? of rice farming as well as on other farmers. So when last first 5 or 6 years after studying the rice technology or rice SRT in rice cropping system, then we decided let us try it in other crops also. So last 3 years under our project of Pokhara, we decided to tried it on some farms through farmer field school technology. We have farmer field school in each village of Pokhara, 5,000 villages, and we have appointed farm facilitators. They take the technology, they teach the farmers how to go ahead. So few of the farm facilitators and coordinators, we brought them to Dada's farm in Saguna Baug in May 19. And then we started that, let us experiment this on technology in some of the other crops like cotton, soybean, other pulses, and other maize and other crops. Because these are the major crops of central Maharashtra, Marathwada and Vidarbha region. So these are the major crops, and Maharashtra being a kind of soybean and pulses bowl of India, because we have a large area under soybean and also great area under pulses and even cotton bowl also. So soybean, cotton, and pulses, this is the dominant cropping system in central Maharashtra. So we tried this technology on those fields in right from Kharif 19, then Kharif 19 followed by then Rabi 19, then 20 Kharif, 20 Rabi, and now last Kharif, that's 21 Kharif. So all 3 Kharifs we tried this technology on various farmer fields, and they themselves, from single farmer in Aurangabad, the extension was taken to 30 farmers in next Kharif and 300 farmers in now last Kharif. And this Rabi, it may touch around, we are targeting now 10,000 farmers in coming Kharif. That's why the project is now promoting this technology through our extension workers and extension officers. You know, Atma is our extension functionary. New reforms in agriculture has happened last 3 5-year plans, and now this Atma is becoming extension of driving force. So we are educating those Atma people right from their district officials to the ground level extension workers, agricultural extension workers. So that is one way of taking the technology to the farmers. Another way we are doing it, we are promoting those farmers who are willing to do the technology. So we are taking the exposure visits to the practicing farmers, and this is going to be happen maybe around next 5 months or 6 months. It will go on, and before that June, they will be, I think, hopefully they will be ready to go for zero-day technology by adapting SR technique for their cotton, particularly cotton, soybean, and pulses. So this is how the plan of Pokhara to promote this zero-tillage technology is now in vogue, and now we are expecting more and more farmers will join this movement. This is now movement now. This is not the one technology, or this is not a single kind of prescription. It is a movement to reach the dignified life. The dignity, when it is there, as Parshuram rightly told that becoming a Adivasi farmer, he has now himself land. So the farmers in Marathwada and Vidarbha, though they are actually facing with agrarian distresses. So to make them, or to bring them out of this distress, this is the only solution. To we have to preserve our soils, preserve health of the soil, which will also preserve health of the farmers, which will also preserve the health of the clients and consumers. So from health point of view, from economic point of view, from soil health point of view, and from resilience building point of view, as I said, resilience, profitability, and dignity, whole thing will be achieved, can be achieved if we go for zero tillage technology by adopting practicable things, applicable things, doable things. So SRT is a doable thing, because as I said, no till has many theories, but what is doable now? SRT is doable. So the doable things are now being implemented, and let us hope for a good result from the farmer community and other researchers. As this forum only, I request the researchers, if you are from your universities, to do some research from various angles of this technology, and then come up with some conclusions, some recommendations, which will again help us or strengthen the theory into practice, and this will be applicable throughout India. So thank you for inviting me for such a delightful session. And thank you, University, and thank you, Dada, to be part of with all this endeavor. Thank you.
Thank you,
Wonderful.
Shri Vijay Kolakarji, for joining us today morning, for your very ground level evidences on adoption of SRT technique. Thank you very much, and please stay with us. Our
Yes.
Honorable Chancellor Shri Chandrashekhar Vijendra has joined. He has been watching the program, from backstage. And Honorable Chancellor, we welcome you and for your valedictory address and also interaction with Shri Vijay Kolakar is a senior economist adopting SRT, the Saguna Rise for Technique, in World Bank project of climate resilient agriculture in Maharashtra. And Dr. Chandrashekhar Hari Bhadsavle had a wonderful presentation on his technique, and he also brought evidences of from various regions of Maharashtra, and various farmers from tribal area and non-tribal area talked about the benefits of SRT and agricultural rural tourism technique through SRT. And the topic is dignity, for farmers. This is an important of how to create cultivating dignity for farmers. So with this, I would like to welcome our Honorable Chancellor, and he is Shri Chandrashekhar Vijendra is a co-founder and Chancellor of Shobhit Institute of Engineering and Technology, Meerut, a NAC accredited deemed to be university, and Shobhit University, Ganga, Uttar Pradesh. Shri Chandrashekhar Vijendra is a prominent social entrepreneur based in New Delhi and carries leadership role in many organizations. He has been nominated as a co-chairman of National Council on Education of ASOCHAM, and he is also president Center for Education Growth and Research, a leading and only education think tank in India based at New Delhi. Shri Chandrashekhar Vijendra is a persistent advocate of initiatives for education for all, secular values, crisis management through diplomatic and peaceful ways, and globalized system of learning and harmonious coexistence. He has been instrumental in the development of a number of higher educational institutions in North India, including 2 universities, many research centers, an Ayurvedic Medical College, College of Naturopathy and Yogic Sciences, and a 100-bed eyes hospital. Shri Chandrashekhar Vijendra is instrumental in establishing 5 centers of excellence, first in the country: Center for Agricultural Informatics and E-Governance Research Studies, Center for Agribusiness and Disaster Management Studies, Center for Informatic Development Solutions and Application, Center for Industry 4.0 Technology Studies and Application, and Center for Health Informatics and Computing in the university to promote informatics and technology development in rural India. Shri Chandrashekhar Vijendra is actively involved with a number of social organizations. Acknowledging his contribution in the areas of education and other concerns, he has been copiously honored and awarded. He has traveled widely in India and abroad to the countries like USA, UK, Germany, Australia, Russia, China, South Korea, Vietnam, Mongolia, United Arab Emirates, Mauritius, Rwanda, Uganda, and Croatia, etc., to participate in various professional, social, and educational activities. Shri Chandrashekhar Vijendra is a passionate Gandhian, avid reader, keen learner, social speaker, occasional poet, and a dreamer. We welcome Honorable Chancellor Shri Chandrashekhar Vijendra to give his valedictory address and also to interact with 2 important, person, Dr. Chandrashekhar Hari Bhadsavle Ji and Mr. Vijay Kolakar is a senior agronomist associated with the World Bank project of clean resilient agriculture. They are adopting the technique which is, invented and popularized by Bhadsavle ji in Maharashtra, and it's being adopted in many states. It is now has crossed the border of Maharashtra. Different crops. It is, even though it started with rice, but it started in about 26 crops, which is being adopted in, being practiced in various agroclimatic zones. Over to our Honorable Chancellor.
Uh, Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you very much, Professor Moni, for inviting me for the valedictory address to this very important webinar series, 56th edition we are having today. When Honorable Prime Minister spoke about doubling farmers' income by 22, definitely his vision was not taken by many people around very seriously. People were talking about how it is possible. And then many people were waiting for, let us see how it happens. But behind the scene, there are many people, those who are really doing it. And I am really happy to have two wonderful speakers with us today. Those who are doing it even before when the Prime Minister talked about that we can and we must work to double the income of our farmers. So thank you very much, Dada. I will call you Dada. I share my name with you. You are Chandrashekhar. I am Shekhar. So I will call you Dada. And Mr. Vijay Kolekar. Thank you for joining and thank you for making a vision, a mission, and executing it very effectively. When the topic of this webinar was shared with me by Professor Moni, who is not only instrumental in creating a ripple effect in the country through this webinar series, but who is giving a platform to wonderful people around the globe, those who are working in this direction. When this topic was discussed with me and shared with me, cultivating dignity for farmers, it reminded me of two things. One, that on 15th of August, Honorable Prime Minister from the Red Fort, he said, Chota Kisan Bane Desh Ki Shan. When we talk about our smaller farmers, when we say they have to become the pride of the nation, indeed they are. But we never acknowledged or recognized their efforts. We have not given them a hand holding. And secondly, it reminded me of Chhatrapati Shivaji, who fought for the dignity of the nation, who fought for the dignity of all of us, who said, no, dignity first, rest everything afterwards. And thank you for working in this direction. It was mentioned that, and I agree with that, that food, clothing, shelter, they are important. But I am sure they are important when dignity is there in life. All these webinars, what we are doing, we are always very sensitive to the thing that whatever we are talking, it reaches to the last stakeholder and the first stakeholder. The last stakeholder is today's youth, who does not understand that farming can be a beneficiary thing. Farming can be the most dignified job you can do in this world. And the first stakeholder are farmers in the villages. Through this webinar series, we try to convey to them optimism, possibilities, experiments, what we all are doing together to make their life more comfortable. So I again thank you both for being with us and sharing this thing. Agro-rural tourism. I also hail from a small village of Western Uttar Pradesh. I have seen the struggles. But when Dada is talking about agro-rural tourism, it is going to enhance a lot of things because tourism starts, we generally invite people to see the prosperity. Tourism is where happiness is there. Tourism is where success stories are there. Tourism is where prosperity is there. And that too in rural villages. This is actually the journey which has to start from cities to villages. When Honorable Prime Minister said from lab to land and from land to lab, when he was talking about agriculture, now we have to see that from cities to villages, people go to seek prosperity, pleasure, happiness, to see success stories. And I am sure that SRT, a technique which has been developed and implemented in Maharashtra very successfully, it will spread further. And this webinar will also help in getting this message go to many people around, more people around, that yes, there are possibilities where you can do better what you are doing right now. I have not much to say because after listening people like Dada, Dr. Chandrashekhar Hari, Bhadsavle ji, and Vijay Kolekarji, who is working with World Bank projects. So, and neither I am an agronomist nor an agriculturist even now. However, we have lands and agriculture is happening in our native places. But one thing I will like to say that a lot of things are doable in this world. I will like to invite both of you that to spread this message. Whatever way
Honorable
you
Chancellor, can I request Mr. Vijay Kolkar to make video on? He's put his video off.
um, okay,
Okay.
fine. So I would like to request both of you to share your experiences more with the youth, and university can be one that platform, because when we talk about dignity, education is one of the very important factor and instrument to bring dignity in the people around. And education is not only a formal education in the universities. Education is when we create awareness, when we share the things. So I would like to invite both of you to be a part of Shobhit University system, whatever way you feel. Maybe a micro certificate we can start. Maybe we can have some webinar series in the regional languages. Maybe we can have some tours of our students or otherwise where these success stories are happening, because the world has to know what is happening in every part of this nation. World has to understand what wonderful job people like both of you are doing to enhance the prosperity, income, livelihood, and most important, the dignity of our farmers. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chancellor. And I would like to request Dr. Chandrashekhar Hari Bhadsavle ji to, discuss with Honorable Chancellor that his views, and also that how we would like to, utilize the university platform to also to interact with the university for various research activities as decided by the Honorable Chancellor. Over to Dr. Chandrashekhar Hari Bhadsavle ji, and now Vijay Kolakarji also has joined. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, before that, I would
I'm
like
also able
to,
to see, and Madam also has joined. We welcome
yes,
her.
yes, yes. Yeah. So this is I wanted to say. I know we are closing in on the time, but the most important success of my life is that Anuradha, being a cancer immunology scientist, she became a farmer, and she has her own experience. She wanted to share in a couple of minutes. But all our three children, they were in foreign countries, Western countries. They have come back, and they're all working in rural India. So that's another. That's what makes our life a successful life. Uh, Dr. Moni, can I allow
Yeah, please,
Anuradha to?
please, 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 please.
Namaste, Namaste, Chancellor ji. Namaste, everybody. This is a big seminar, and I'm really very happy to participate into it. When we are talking about cultivating dignity to farmers, I have seen that. I have experienced that. Of course, when we got married, I don't think we were dignified. Not for at least 10 years after our marriage. We were de-dignified. I came from Mumbai. I was postgraduate. I wanted to become a scientist and all that, but then got married to a farmer and then became a farmer lady. So that was a bit difficult for me. But then I came in here and then I found out that my soulmate, he really is a scientist. So he's always the boss. He always keeps on. He's a perfectionist. And so I have a scientist at home. I have a guide at home. When as our journey proceeded, we came across the Krishi Paryatan started in our life, and that is when we started getting the dignity. The dignified life started after people started coming in and joining in on our farm. After Krishi Paryatan started SRT, and then the ample food that was getting created, the ample yields that were getting produced on our farm, they used to get sold on our farm itself because of Krishi Paryatan. So we financially, with together, Krishi Paryatan as well as SRT, our financially we were enhanced, or I would say stability, financial stability was there. Also at the same time, because of SRT, because of the organic carbon level increasing, we also enjoyed having the biodiversity. We enjoyed having the green cover over our land, and then it was so nice. Saguna Baug is so nice. After 10 years, the Saguna Baug has started becoming very nice. Uh, Actually, I wanted to have a house on the ocean, on a beach. That is what I always wanted. But then we have a house on the bank of the river, Ullas, and that is also equally good. And most important thing is that I would like to share that we can anytime go on the beach and then really enjoy if he has time. That is very important. I would like to say that if with your when you together hold your hands with the help of Pokhara, with the help of many universities, with the help of youth, whatever the experience that Shekhar has gained, the team Shekhar has gained, whatever experience we have, if that can be if that can be replicated, everybody joins in, then this Atmanirbhar Bharat can be very easily attained. Like, this is use of Krishi Paryatan, use of SRT, Saguna rice technique in agriculture, then use of Jala Samvardhan Tantra, cleaning up of the rivers, and then SVT, that is Vana Samvardhan. All our hills will be green and all. If together we all work together for this, I am sure that Bharat will be Atmanirbhar. Thanks for allowing me to be on this platform. Namaste.
Thank you, madam. And I would like to intervene in between. After listening to you, Anuradha means the luckiest star in our nakshatra, 17th one, is Anuradha. So when Anuradha is there in the life of Dada, definitely things had to happen, and it is wonderful to have you with us. Thank you very much.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
over to you, Professor Moni.
The whole family stays on the farm, and we enjoy and we continue contributing, and our next generation also is learning farming, and this is the most ideal situation. When our country becomes Atmanirbhar, it should be sustainable also. It should last long for generations. And this is what is important, and it's possible. This is what we have demonstrated. And thank you. It's really wonderful being here.
Thank you very much, Dadaji and Madam Ji. And I also would like to hear from Shri Vijay Golakar when Honorable Chancellor was talking. I think you have got a busy call. So would you like to react to what the observations and also the interest of the Honorable Chancellor during his valedictory remarks?
Yeah. Thank you again. Actually, in this endeavor of total series of different this technology, particularly digitization and agriculture. So I would like to just bring to attention of Honorable Vice Chancellor sir that digitizing agriculture for climate resilience is the need of hour, and the initiatives to go ahead, how to digitize these things, how to digitize the extension, how to digitize the information access to the farmers, because farmers need access to information in a very useful and very easy manner. So this is how there are some initiatives by Pokhara, how to digitize the resilience farming system. So I will share the document of Pokhara, what till we have achieved, and how we have making use of open source technology in digitization to make it so easy and so user friendly. Our just example I will tell at the end that we have to cater the services through the project to around, you can say, 18 lakh farmers in these 5,000 villages. Until now, I am very proud to say that 10 lakh farmers are registered on our Pokhara project portal through mobile access, through very useful application of DBT. And out of this DBT application, there is a direct benefit transfer. So the project is transferring this benefit to the farmers through this portal, and now till now, 3 lakh plus farmers have received their benefit to the tune of rupees 1400 crores since last 3 years. So this is the huge volume we are doing through digitization since beginning. And now coming to the today's dignity thing, we are documenting every farmer's data who have been on the platform of the Pokra, and seeing that how much resilience, how much capability, how much adaptive capacity has been enhanced since you can say 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, and in future also we are going to map those things in through a digital way, and this will also show us, and this will also give the idea that enhancing carbon, organic carbon, enhancing income, enhancing resilience can be measured through different means. And then we finally say that when the farmers become resilient, adopt such conservation tillage techniques, they should be have a great stake in carbon market also. So the future thing is introducing the farmers and making them carbon credit givers. And though we expect university and all other stakeholders to attach, or to you can say connect these farmers to the carbon market, so that again there will more addition in terms of monetary terms also when they are doing these good ecosystem services, because these farmers, though they are doing their own things, but they are providing better ecosystem services which are needed in this changing climate scenario. So this is how the dignified farmers can do a lot more than what is expected to the globe and to the world community. This is what I would say at the end. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you very much. I think there is now this basic technique has evolved. It is spreading. It has become a movement now. But there is quite a bit of research needs to be done. The varietal research is required. Different varieties suitable for this particular technique, no-till conservation method of technique. There are various parameters which we see. The soil becomes soft, the soil becomes fragrant, the organic carbon is increasing, is some of our observations. We don't have a appropriate technique or appropriate laboratory or simple hand tool which can measure the this kind of a thing, increase in organic carbon. What is specific gravity, the porosity of the soil, which is expressed by bulk density of the soil. So these are the scientific things which need to be evaluated, validated, and taken further. So research is required on those fronts. Then research is required on the machinery, the appropriate machinery. For example, today's seed sowing machines, they again destroy the soil structure. They again plow the land is needed to be plowed and pulverized before those machines are to be implemented for sowing the seed. The harvesters, the combined harvesters and thresher, they need to be appropriate machines which will do the job without destructing the permanent raised beds or basic the top soil structure. So many types of research is required, validation is required. So those are the things which university can do wonderfully, and we are there to work with you. And as Mr. Kulekar mentioned it precisely, and I think somebody was there from Bayer Carbon Incentive. Dr. Suhas Joshi is heading Pacific, Asian Pacific region. I would imagine he must have been the speaker. Bayer is coming out with a big carbon incentive program all over the world. So Dr. Suhas Joshi is in charge of Bayer to do this work in this country. And I think if the university works with this technique and with Bayer, something really big things, because a situation, the tropical situation like India, can do carbon sequestration much more effectively, much more bigger job can be done for the whole universal situation, the global situation. So these are some of the things which need to be brainstormed, which need to be validated and can be planned. And we are with you. Thank you so much for inviting us.
Thank you, Dr. Chandrashekhar Hari Bhadsavle ji. Dr. Suhas Joshi was the speaker in this webinar series, and thank you very much for once again giving information about him. He talked, and he also would like to visit the university, and we will be once again talking to them and try to see that to how to undertake this initiative. And for that matter, there are two scientists from Bears, apart from Dr. Suhas Joshi. Dr. Sangeeta, Moderator also taught in this webinar series. So, thank you very much for reminding them and giving information about them also. And today's talk is very important. And I would like to have a final remark from the Honorable Chancellor. Honorable Chancellor.
Just I would like to say that first of all, thanks again, and secondly, I'm really thankful that you have shown your willingness to contribute. And Shobhit University, with all the resources available with the university, is always willing to participate and contribute in research and validation of the work what has been done at the ground level by different stakeholders. So I'm looking forward to meet you both more frequently and understand that how we as a university can contribute and strengthen your journey of empowering the nation through wonderful agriculture initiatives. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. With this, I would like to thank all of you, Honorable Chancellor, Dr. Chandrashekhar, Hari Bhadsavle ji, and Mr. Vijay Kolakar ji, and also the participants and the various faculty members of the university who have been watching this program, over the Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. With this, we would like to close the webinar and leave studio. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. So thanks for your participation. Thanks for your participation and greeting from Shobhit University. For more research inquiries, please contact Professor Moni Maraswamy, Professor Emeritus and Chairman, Center for Agricultural Informatics and E-Governance Research Studies, and Center for Agribusiness and Disaster Management Studies, and also former Director General, National Informatics Center, Government of India, New Delhi. My email ID is moni@shobhituniversity.ac.in. We close the webinar and leave studio. Thank you.